Hi everyone, Happy New Year. Sorry I haven't done a video in a while, but I had a cross stitch that I wanted to get done before I did the video. I'm also doing the tag. I know I'm late in doing that as well. I wanted to do that before, but I thought I would just do everything at once, do my updates and do the tag. But I also wanted to introduce you to my little fur baby. This is my doggy Gizmo. Big yawn. Gizmo is 6 years old, and we've had him since he was I think 3 months old. So he's our little fur baby. So I just wanted to introduce him, and Gizmo wanted to say hi to everybody out there. Say hi, Gizmo. So that's Gizmo. I'll put him down. So my update here is the butterfly reflection. This is the one that I was doing, the Sue Coleman. I don't know if you can see that. It's probably backwards for you. Sorry about that. But I finally finished it. I finished it the week before Christmas, and I was stitching away at it because I wanted to get it done. I wanted to be one of my 2013 finishes. So, roll it up for you here. And here it is. It's all done, all finished, all the back stitching's done. So just gotta take it to the framers and get it framed. So hopefully within the next week or 2 weeks I'll get that framed. And then I had a new start that I showed you a little bit before, but I've done more over the holidays. I've been home since Christmas Eve and just been eating and spending it with family and stitching. So this is my new start for January. It's for my friend's son. He likes the LSU Tigers, so I've done the pattern on the pick2pat.com website and started it I believe Boxing Day or Christmas Eve, one or the other, but this is how much I've gotten done so far. So I've got quite a bit done on that. Okay, so that's my updates for my cross stitch pretty much. So I'll go ahead and do the tag quickly. I don't want to make this video too long. I'm not a fan of long videos, and I'm sure nobody likes long videos. So the first question was, how did you start, or who introduced you to cross stitch? I have a friend who did cross stitching, and one day at work she brought in her books and her kits and looked at it and fell in love with it. I had done a little bit before, but never gotten into it until she brought it in, and then I saw what she was doing, and then from that day on I was hooked, and I think that was maybe over 10-15 years ago. So I think that's how long I've been cross stitching. Number 2, do you have a favorite theme or designer? I am a Joan Elliott fan. I love all her fairies. I love all her cross stitches. But to be honest, I haven't really done much for her. I model stitched some cards for her, but usually if I look at a pattern and I see it and I like it, that's what I'll do. I love butterflies, as you can see. I love fantasy. I love fairies. Although I haven't done very many fairies, but I just love them. I do a lot of gifts. If I see that there's a special occasion coming up or somebody's got something coming up, I'll cross stitch it for them. Gizmo! Gizmo's just causing trouble over there. Yeah, I do a lot of gifts, so like if somebody's got a special occasion coming up, I'll look for a cross stitch pattern and I'll stitch it and I'll give it away. What floss brand do you use? I use the DMC. I have been known to substitute Anchor if I don't have DMC, but I strictly try to stay with DMC. What is your fabric of choice? My fabric of choice is Aida. I love Aida. I never stitched on linen or even weave, and I've been meaning to try, and I will get to it one day, but for right now I just prefer the Aida. It's easy for me. It's easy on my eyes. I just like Aida. Do you use a needle threader or are you a floss licker? I'm a floss licker, so anybody who gets a cross stitch pattern from me will have my DNA on it because I lick all my threads. I do use a needle threader if I find I have a little piece of thread left and I need to get it back into the needle to finish it off. That's usually when I'll use the needle threader, but mostly a floss licker. What kind of stitching frame do you use? I mostly stitch in hand. If I do use a frame, I prefer the Q-snap just because the old hoops used to leave the marks, and I can't stand that when it leaves the marks, so I have been known to use the Q-snap. I prefer the Q-snap, but mostly I find that with some Aidas they're stiff enough where you can just do it in hand and you don't even need a frame. How many projects have you finished? I'd say maybe about 15 to 20, because I've given a lot away. I've done some for my niece, I did some for friends, I have some for my husband, I got 2 or 3 for me, so I'd say about 15 to 20 pieces. How many completed works do you have currently displayed in your home? Well, I have the 2 behind me that you can see, the flag and the other one there. Upstairs in my living room I have the one that I did for my husband, the Barnyard Beauty. I have the Toronto Maple Leaf one that I did for my husband. It's upstairs and it's framed, and I just need to get it put up on the wall. Just haven't had a chance to do it. So I'd say about 4 so far. So where are you? Do you do more stitching for gifts, or do you keep them for yourself? As I said before, I do it more for gifts. I find that like I said, if somebody has a special occasion, they know that they're getting a cross-stitch project from me, so I prefer that. I should stitch more for myself, and I'm starting to do that now. The butterfly one I'll keep for myself. So what is your favorite project or finish that you're most proud of? It would have to be the one that I did for my husband that's hanging in our living room upstairs. It's the Stony Creek Barnyard Beauty. It did take me 2 years on and off, but that was because I would stitch a bit and then stop, stitch a bit and stop, and then I finally decided when it was almost done, okay, I'm going to finish it. And I ended up finishing it, and it looked amazing, and I love it, and he loves it. And what has been your least favorite or worst experience while stitching? It would have to be one that I started for my husband. He worked at a car wash, and I took their logo and thought that I would cross-stitch the logo for them. So I started and I counted, and somehow I counted totally wrong and started way too far in from where I was supposed to, and then counted and realized that I was way too far in and that I wouldn't have enough space to fit it all in. So I didn't want to frog it because I had it all started, so I thought I'll just start over again. So that was a really bad one. But I started it and it's almost finished, and I plan to finish it off. I've just got like 3 or 4 rows left on it to finish. What do you love and what do you hate about cross stitching? I love that it keeps me sane. I love that it relaxes me. I hate that I don't have enough time to do it. Usually I get home from work, I make dinner, and then sit down and watch TV, and by that time it's 8 or 9 o'clock, so I only have 2 hours or 3 hours a night to stitch. On weekends sometimes I don't have enough time to stitch. I'll get an hour or 2 or 3 if I'm lucky, so I wish I had more time to stitch. Have you ever introduced anyone else to cross stitch? This one's funny because as soon as somebody mentions cross stitch, I go crazy, and I am willing to teach anyone, and I am willing to have anyone. There was actually a girl at work that wanted to do it, and I picked a pattern for her. I picked a black silhouette, all one color, to make it easy. I gave her the fabric. I started it for her, but I don't think she got anywhere with it. And I had another friend that I tried to teach, and she didn't have any patience, and she didn't get anywhere. I do have 2 amazing friends who were cross-stitchers that I met on Facebook, and I met through my husband. He went to school with one of them, and they are cross-stitchers, and we have Stitch and Bitches every month, and we try to get together as often as we can, and they are awesome cross-stitchers as well. One is a beginner, but she's doing very well, and she's learning, and the other one is amazing, and she does beautiful, beautiful stuff, so I'm lucky to have them as friends. What was your first project, and did you finish it? If not, what was your first finish? My first finish was a flower pattern that I did. I actually gave it away. I gave it to my friend's aunt, and I did end up finishing it. At the time I didn't mark down how long it took me when I started, so I have no idea how long it took me. Before I wasn't into taking pictures and marking down how long I started and how long I've been doing it, but now I try to, with every project, take pictures as I go so that I have something to look back on. And so how do you store your cross-stitch floss? I love bobbins, so I keep them on bobbins. I have a big case that I got from Canadian Tire that I put on all my floss. It has one of each color, and then I have the smaller plastic bins that keep all my extras. I just find that the bobbins are easier for me. Never had a problem with them, so that's the system that I prefer, and I guess that's what I like. So I guess that's it. Just wanted to say Happy New Year to everyone, and sorry I'm late in posting, and this is Gizmo here again. Say hi, Gizmo. Say hi. So I hope you all have a good year, and I hope you have all your stitching projects ready for 2014, and I hope to see all your stitching projects, and wish you all the best for 2014. Thanks. Bye.